In this tutorial, we're going to look at heading elements. So we'll have a quick review of our basic template. I have a new file in code, and remember when we first start typing, it's not color-coded because it is a plain text file. So we need to save. So file save as, and again, you'll navigate to your Google Drive shared folder in that chapter 2 folder. And I'm going to save this as heading.html and then click save. Okay, so let's see if you can remember before I start typing what our first statement is, our first tag. If you said doc type, you are correct. Okay, so remember that tells the browser that we're using HTML5. Then we have our opening HTML tag where we set our language attribute to English, and then all of the rest of our code need to be typed between those two HTML tags. Now about this spacing, literally you could type an entire HTML document on one line. So for instance, this is not wrong. It's just hard to read. So that's why we press enter. And I like to keep a really clean environment because it makes it easier for you to troubleshoot and debug. Okay, what's the next section? Do you remember? It's the head section. So there's the head section. Later you're going to learn about the header section. And in this tutorial we're learning about heading elements. So try to keep all those straight. The first thing that we're going to add is a title. Remember, this is the text that appears on your browser's tab, so we're just going to say headings. And then let's have our character encoding that sets our character encoding to UTF-8. Okay, so that's all for our head section. And then everything that appears in our browser window will be in the body. Oh, one quick thing. I didn't mention this before, but you can press your command key and your plus sign if you want to increase your font size, and then the minus key if you want to decrease it. So I'll increase it for this tutorial. Maybe it'll make it a little easier for you to see. Okay, so one of the most common tags that we use are heading elements, and we have an H1 through an H6, and they all display your text in a different size. So H1 is the largest and H6 is the smallest. So let's see what that looks like. We're going to open an H1 tag, and it needs to have a closing tag. So this is our opening tag, this is our closing tag, and whatever text that we want to be formatted as a heading 1, we type in the middle. So let's do heading 1. Okay, we're going to repeat that process all the way through 6. So we'll have a heading 2, a heading 3, a heading 4, a heading 5, and a heading 6. Okay, so once you have that, if you've set your document up, oh, one other thing that I don't know if you saw in the tutorial, remember you can do autosave, so it autosaves your code. Otherwise, you would need to save it before you view in the browser. Okay, so you can do a Command S to save if you do not have your autosave set up. Refer back to that tutorial for that. Okay, Alt B opens your browser, and that shows you what these different headings look like. So this text here appears here, and each one of our headings, see, they get sequentially smaller, with heading 6 being the smallest. It also makes this text a little bolder and then put some extra white space around it. So this is what it does by default, but when we get into CSS, we'll learn more on how to format these a little differently. Okay? All right, on to the next one.